My fiancé announced, "I'm done listening to your feelings and needs. You're too emotional for a man." I said, "Noted." Then I stopped sharing completely, including that I'd been offered a job in another state. When the moving truck showed up and she had no idea I'd already accepted it. I, 31 male, was making dinner at 6:47 p.m. on a Tuesday when my fiancé, 29, said the thing that ended us. We were supposed to discuss the wedding budget. Her parents were covering the venue and catering, $22,000 total. We were supposed to split the bar tab, photographer, and DJ. Came out to about $1,600 each. I'd mentioned maybe we should look at our finances together before committing. She slammed her water glass down. "Oh my God, not this again. I just think we should. No, I'm done. I'm done listening to your feelings and needs. You're too emotional for a man. Do you know how exhausting it is? Every single decision requires a discussion. My dad never acted like this. He just handled things and let my mom plan. I'm not your dad." Clearly, he's actually masculine. Stood there holding a spatula. Pasta was burning. "You want me to stop sharing my feelings? I want you to stop having so many feelings, or at least keep them to yourself. I can't be your therapist." Noted. Don't be dramatic. Turned off the stove. Lost my appetite. That night, I decided. She didn't want to hear my feelings, she'd hear nothing at all. Next morning at 9:23 a.m., LinkedIn message. Recruiter. Senior software architect position. Different state, 850 miles away. $105K salary increase plus $12 signing bonus and full relocation package. Would normally show her. Discuss it together. Not this time. Responded, extremely interested. When can we talk? Phone screen at 2 p.m. Nailed it. Second interview Friday. Came home. She was on her phone. How was work? Fine. You're being weird. Just tired. Panel interview Friday. 6 people. 2 hours. Crushed it. They said they'd have an offer by Monday. Didn't tell her about any of it. Offer came Monday at 11:08 a.m. Signed it at 11:34 a.m. Start date in 6 weeks. Apartment hunting started that night. Found a place in 3 days. 1 bedroom, nice building, $1,680 a month. Signed the lease. First last security. $5,140 total. Move-in date 5 weeks. Our current lease ended in 7 weeks. My name only. I'd signed it before we moved in together. Perfect timing. Gave 2 weeks notice at work Wednesday. Boss was disappointed but understood. Started decluttering. Sold stuff online. My fiancé loved it. See, this is what I've been saying. You had so much junk. Sure. Rented a storage unit 2 weeks out. $165 per month. Started moving things there on Saturdays. Told her I was donating it all. Week 4. Her mom called about final wedding details. We need your guest list by next week. Better ask her about that. Is everything okay? You sound off. Just busy. Well, we're very excited. Only 5 months away. Right. Week 5. Booked the moving truck. 20-footer from a local company. $950 with insurance. Scheduled for Friday at 9 a.m. My fiancé had mentioned weeks ago she'd be working from home all day Friday. Back-to-back video meetings until at least 3 p.m. Even better, she'd be home to watch. Thursday night I barely slept. Not nervous, excited. She woke up Friday at 8 a.m. Made coffee, sat down at her laptop in the living room. Big meeting day. Don't make noise, okay? Won't be a problem. 8:47 a.m. my phone buzzed. Movers were 10 minutes out. 8:58 a.m. the truck pulled up. Update 1. She was on a video call when the doorbell rang. Can you get that? She whisper-yelled, camera off. Open the door. 3 guys with dollies. Here for the move? Yep, let's do this. Started directing them. My furniture, my boxes, my electronics. My fiancé's head whipped around, held up a finger. Wait 1 minute. Turned her camera back on, smiling. Sorry about that. Let me share my screen. The movers kept working. First trip out, my couch. She looked over, looked at me, looked at the movers, mouthed, what's happening? Pointed to my phone, texted her, moving, stay on your call. Her eyes went huge, tried to say something but her boss was talking. She unmuted. Yes, I agree with that approach, voice shaking. Second trip, my TV, my desk, my bookshelf. She texted back, what do you mean moving? Exactly what it sounds like. Where? Different state, new job, starting Monday. Her camera was still on. Watched her face go from confused to panicked to furious, but she couldn't say anything. Her entire team was on this call. She typed, you can't just leave, we're getting married. You said you were done listening to my feelings, so I stopped sharing them, including the job offer. This is insane. Gotta go. Movers need help. She stood up, forgot her camera was on, walked toward me. I'm in a meeting, someone shouted through her laptop speakers. She froze, turned around, sat back down, camera back on. Sorry, technical difficulties. The movers worked for 3 hours. Everything I owned went into that truck. About 65% of the apartment's contents. She stayed on video calls the entire time. Watched helplessly as her home was dismantled. Kept muting and unmuting, asking me what was happening between calls. I already told you. You can't do this. I'm doing it. We're supposed to get married in 5 months. Not anymore. My parents spent $22,000. Your parents, not me. I never agreed to pay for anything. 11:52 a.m., the movers finished loading. Walked over to where she was sitting. She was on another call. Camera off this time. Placed my key and garage remote on the table in front of her. Lease ends in 2 weeks. You're not on it. Figure it out. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. Walked out. Closed the door. Got in my car. Followed the truck. My phone started ringing at 12:14 p.m. Her call had ended. Ignored it. By the time I stopped for gas an hour later, I had 18 missed calls and 32 texts. Read through them at the gas station. Answer your phone. You can't do this to me. Where are you going? What state? I'm calling the police. This is kidnapping. Of what? My own furniture? My mom is freaking out. Everyone is asking where you are. Answer me. I'll cancel the wedding. You're leaving me with nothing. The apartment is empty. You're a psychopath. I called your mom. She doesn't know anything. Where are you? Turned off my phone. Drove the remaining 6 hours in peace. Arrived at my new apartment at 7:23 p.m. Movers unloaded. Tipped them $200 total. They left by 9 p.m. Ordered Chinese food. Sat on my couch. Turned my phone back on. 63 missed calls. Over 100 texts. 12 voicemails. The voicemails escalated beautifully. VM1. What the hell is going on? Call me back right now. VM3. The landlord said the lease ends in 2 weeks and only your name is on it. What am I supposed to do? VM6. My mom is crying. Do you know what you've done? We have to cancel everything. Fine. Fine. If you want to throw away 3 years, go ahead. But you're paying for half this wedding. My parents are getting a lawyer. I know you're seeing this. I know you're ignoring me. You're a coward. You're pathetic. Everyone is going to know what you did. Texted her once. You told me you were done listening to my feelings and needs. I took you seriously. Stopped sharing everything, including the job offer, the apartment, and the move. The lease ends in 2 weeks. Only my name on it. Handle it however you want. Don't contact me again. Blocked her number. Blocked her family. Went to bed. Saturday morning, first day exploring my new city. Felt amazing. Checked my email over breakfast. 26 emails. Her mom, her sister, her dad, her best friend, 2 of her cousins. Her moms. You have humiliated our family. Do you know what it's like to call 180 people and cancel a wedding? Do you know how much money we've lost? $22,000. $22,000. You will be hearing from our attorney. What you did is illegal. You can't just abandon someone you're engaged to. We will sue you for every penny. Replied. I never signed a contract for the wedding. Never contributed financially. You planned it without my input because your daughter said she didn't want to hear my feelings. Sue me if you want. You'll lose. Her dad's email was shorter. I raised my daughter to be strong, maybe too strong. But what you did, leaving without a word, that's not what men do. Men communicate. Men work through problems. Call me. Didn't respond. Blocked them all. Sunday afternoon, knock on my door. Looked through the peephole. My ex-fiancée, her sister, her mom. How did they find me? Opened the door with the chain on. How did you get this address? Your mother gave it to me. My ex shrieked. After I told her you abandoned me. Note to self, have a talk with mom. You need to leave. We drove 9 hours to talk to you. I said don't contact me. Her mom pushed forward. You owe us an explanation. You owe us money. We spent thousands. You spent thousands on a wedding I never agreed to pay for. Your daughter told me she didn't want my input. She got her wish. You're twisting everything, her sister yelled. She had one bad day and you blew up your entire life. Actually, she had multiple bad days where she told me I was too emotional and she was tired of hearing my feelings, so I stopped sharing them. One comment, my ex screamed. You're doing all this over one comment. The comment that ended it, yeah, the breaking point of many comments. Her mom was crying now. We can't get the deposits back, do you understand? $22,000 is just gone. We're not rich people. Then maybe don't plan an expensive wedding without making sure both people want it. You proposed, my ex shrieked. I did, 9 months ago, before you spent months telling me my feelings were a burden. Security showed up. Must have been called by a neighbor. Everything okay here? These people are harassing me. I've asked them to leave. You heard him. Time to go. You can't kick us out. We drove 9 hours, her sister protested. Ma'am, this is private property. Leave or I call the police. They left, screaming the whole way to their car about lawyers and revenge and karma. I watched from my window as they sat in the car for 20 minutes, arguing, crying. Finally drove away. Started my new job Monday. It was great. Update 2, week 1 at the job. My ex found my work email. Sent me a novel Tuesday morning. Subject, please read this. Didn't read it. Forwarded to HR. My ex-fiancée is harassing me. I left her after she told me she was done listening to my feelings. She's not handling it well. HR called her and told her to stop or they'd pursue legal action. She stopped emailing work, got served with papers Thursday. At my new apartment, she was actually suing me. The claim, breach of promise to marry and unjust enrichment. She wanted $11,000, half the wedding deposits. Took it to a lawyer Friday. Consultation was $300. He read it. Started laughing. Breach of promise to marry isn't recognized in this state, and even in states that recognize it, you'd need proof of financial loss caused by you. She has none. You didn't pay for anything. So this goes nowhere? Nowhere fast. I'll respond for $700. Basically telling her she has no case and further frivolous litigation will result in me pursuing legal fees from her. Do it. He sent the response. 2 weeks later, her lawsuit was dropped. But the harassment intensified. She created a fake email account, Jennifer.Stone2024, and sent me paragraphs. I hope you're happy. I hope your new life is worth destroying mine. I had to move back in with my parents. Back in with my parents at 29 years old, because you took everything. You took the apartment, you took my stability, you took my future. Everyone at work keeps asking about the wedding. Do you know how humiliating it is? Some people thought I was lying about being engaged. That's how sudden it was. You didn't just leave me. You humiliated me. Blocked the email. She made another, Emily Cares 888. My therapist says you're a narcissist. She says what you did is called stonewalling, and it's abuse. You abused me by refusing to communicate. You abused me by leaving without warning. I'm in therapy because of you. I'm on anxiety medication because of you. But sure, go live your best life while I pick up the pieces. Blocked that too. Her best friend DM'd me on Instagram. I'd made a new account, kept it private. She must have found it somehow. You're disgusting. Do you know she cries every day? She can't eat, she can't sleep, she's a shell of herself. And you don't even care. You just moved on like she meant nothing. 3 years together and you threw her away like garbage. I hope karma gets you. Blocked. Week 3, her dad showed up at my apartment building. Didn't have my unit number but was calling my name in the lobby. We need to talk man to man. Security called me. I came down. Sir, I've asked you multiple times not to come here. I drove 9 hours again. The least you can do is hear me out. I don't owe you anything. Leave or I'm calling the police. My daughter is destroyed. Destroyed. You didn't just break up with her. You humiliated her. You left her with an empty apartment and 2 weeks to find a new place. She had to beg us for money. She's 29 and living at home because of you. She's 29 and living at home because she spent 3 years telling me my feelings didn't matter. Actions have consequences. You could have talked to her, worked it out, but you ran away like a child. I tried talking, multiple times. She shut me down every time, said I was too emotional, so I stopped talking. One argument, not one argument, multiple. Over months, she made it clear she didn't want to hear from me, so I gave her what she wanted. Security stepped between us. Sir, time to go. He left, but not before shouting, you're going to regret this. You're going to end up alone and miserable, and you'll realize what you lost. Maybe. Or maybe not. Week 4. Got a call from the wedding venue. They were confused. We have your fiancée claiming you agreed to split the cost of the venue, and she wants us to pursue you for half the deposit. I never signed anything with you. Never paid you a deposit. Check your records. We have her mother's credit card and her signature, not yours. Then the debt is between you and them. I have no contract with you. She's claiming you verbally agreed. Verbal agreements aren't enforceable for this amount in this state. Talk to your lawyer if you don't believe me. They dropped it, but her mom sent me a certified letter. You are a thief. You are a liar. You are destroying our family. We will not stop until you pay us what you owe. We've contacted a lawyer. We've contacted the police. We've contacted everyone who knows you to tell them what kind of person you are. You will not get away with this. Showed it to my lawyer. He sent them a cease and desist. $400 for that. If they contacted me again, we could pursue harassment charges. They stopped. Month 2, my ex found out where I worked. Not from me. Someone must have told her. Started calling the main office line. Reception kept telling her I'd asked not to be contacted. She called anyway. 5 times in 1 week. HR got involved. Your ex-fiancée has been calling repeatedly. We need to address this. I've blocked her everywhere, told her not to contact me. She won't stop. We're going to send her a formal cease and desist from our legal team. If she contacts this office again, we'll pursue legal action. They sent it. She stopped calling, but she didn't stop trying. Got a LinkedIn message from her. She'd paid for premium just to message me. I know you hate me. I know you think I'm crazy. Maybe I am, but I miss you. I miss us. I'm sorry for what I said. I was stressed and I took it out on you. Can we please talk? Just once, I promise I'll leave you alone after. I just need closure. Didn't respond. She sent 8 more messages over the next week. Each more desperate. Finally replied, you told me you were done listening to my feelings. I took you seriously. There's nothing to talk about. Move on. Blocked her on LinkedIn. Update 3. Month 3. Her best friend called my work line. Got through somehow. She's not eating. Did you know that? She's lost 20 pounds. She's so depressed she can barely get out of bed. Are you happy? Is this what you wanted? I wanted her to listen when I tried to communicate. She refused. So I left. Her mental health isn't my responsibility anymore. You don't just abandon someone you love. I abandoned someone who told me my feelings were a burden. Big difference. She was having a bad day. For 3 months? She was having a bad day for 3 months straight? Silence. That's what I thought. Hung up. Reported the call to HR. They blocked that number. Got an email from her mom's lawyer. 3rd one now. More threats about lawsuits. More claims about verbal agreements. More demands for money. My lawyer responded, your client has filed and dropped 1 frivolous lawsuit already. Any further legal threats will result in countersuit for harassment. All claims have been proven baseless. Cease contact immediately. Never heard from that lawyer again either. Month 4, mutual friend reached out. Guy I'd known for years before I even met my ex. Dude, she's telling everyone you ghosted her with no warning. That you were fine one day and gone the next. Is that true? No. She told me repeatedly she was done listening to my feelings. That I was too emotional for a man, so I stopped telling her things. Including that I got a new job and was moving. Holy shit. She's not mentioning that part. Of course not. What's she saying? That you left her high and dry. Took everything from the apartment, left her homeless and broke. That you're refusing to pay her back for the wedding. I never agreed to pay for the wedding. Her parents paid. I was never asked to contribute. The apartment lease was in my name only. She was never on it. She had 2 weeks to figure it out. And I didn't leave her broke. She had her own income and savings. Man, the story she's telling is way different. People who get left usually rewrite history to make themselves the victim. Fair point. You doing okay though? Better than okay. Best decision I ever made. Got a final certified letter from her dad week 17. Expected more threats, more demands. Instead, I owe you an apology. Last week I found some text messages on my daughter's old phone. Messages between her and her mother about the wedding planning. She said some things about you that I never knew. Called you overly sensitive and exhausting to deal with. Said she was training you to be less needy. I confronted her. She admitted she said those things you told me about. About being done listening to your feelings. I'm ashamed of her, and I'm sorry I blamed you. You did what you had to do. Good luck with your new life. Put that letter in a drawer. Didn't respond, but didn't throw it away. My ex sent one final email last week. Month 6 post-breakup. Subject: I understand now. I've been in therapy for 4 months. My therapist helped me see what I did, how I treated you, how I made you feel like your feelings didn't matter. She's right. I was wrong. I was controlling. I was dismissive. I damaged you, and I'm sorry. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect you to respond. I just wanted you to know that I get it now. I understand why you left, and I'm sorry I made you feel like you had to leave that way. I hope you're happy, truly. Take care of yourself. Read it 3 times. Felt nothing. Not anger, not satisfaction, just nothing. Didn't respond. Closed the email. Moved on with my day. As for me, life's pretty great. New job gave me another raise, performance bonus plus cost of living adjustment. Dating someone casually. She's a teacher. Smart, funny, empathetic. Actually asks about my day and listens to the answer. Novel concept. My apartment feels like home now. Got new furniture. Made it mine. Have friends here. Life I actually enjoy. And I share my feelings when I have them, with people who actually want to hear them. My ex wanted a man who didn't have needs, who just handled things silently, who kept his feelings to himself. She got exactly that. For 6 weeks while I planned my exit, then she got nothing at all. Sometimes the best revenge is giving people exactly what they ask for, then leaving.
My boss said, I'm leaving my wife. We could finally be together like you've always wanted. I'm 25, he's 52, I never wanted this. I replied, I'm recording this conversation. Then I went straight to HR. When his wife, the company's CEO, called me in, I, 25 female, am currently sitting in a conference room that costs more per hour than my entire college tuition, staring at a glass of sparkling water I'm too terrified to drink. Let me back up. I worked. Status is currently pending as a junior project coordinator for a mid-size logistics firm. It's not glamorous. It's spreadsheets, Gantt charts, and listening to middle-aged men use sports metaphors to explain shipping delays. My boss, Richard, 52 male, is the VP of operations. Richard is a lot. He's the guy who buys a Porsche he can't drive stick in. He wears cologne that enters the room 5 minutes before he does. He dyes his hair a color that does not exist in nature, something approaching shoe polish black. For the last 2 years, I thought I was just doing a good job. I anticipated his needs. I had his reports ready before he asked. I fixed his formatting disasters in PowerPoint. I ordered his lunch, Cobb salad dressing on the side, because that's my job. Apparently, in Richard's delusional brain, this wasn't competence. It was foreplay. Yesterday was Tuesday. Richard called me into his office at 5:15 p.m. The office was empty. Most people clear out by 5. He was sitting on the edge of his desk. Red flag number 1. He gestured for me to sit. Sierra, he said, using his serious voice. I've been doing a lot of thinking. About the Q3 projections? I asked, opening my iPad. I have the updated figures. No, he waved a hand dismissively. About us. I froze. Us? He smiled. It was meant to be charming. It looked like a lizard sunning itself. I know how hard it's been for you, keeping it professional, watching me go home to her every night, but I want you to know, I'm doing it. I'm leaving Eleanor. Eleanor is the CEO, not just the CEO by title. She owns the company. She inherited it from her father and turned it into a beast. She is terrifying. She walks through the halls and the temperature drops 10 degrees. Richard is only VP because he married her 20 years ago. Richard, I said, my voice shaking but loud. I have no idea what you're talking about. You don't have to pretend anymore, he whispered, leaning in. I saw how you looked at me during the budget meeting. I know you ordered the Cobb salad because you care about my cholesterol. We can finally be together, like you've always wanted. I'm 52, you're 25. We're a power couple waiting to happen. The delusion was so dense I could practically chew it. He honestly thought my basic administrative competence was a cry for help. I didn't cry. I didn't run. I pulled my phone out of my pocket. I had hit voice memo the second he said about us because I listened to too many true crime podcasts. Richard, I said clearly, holding the phone up. I am recording this conversation. I have never expressed romantic interest in you. I do not want you to leave your wife for me. I want you to sign the Q3 reports. If you continue this line of conversation, I will leave. His face dropped. You're recording? That's illegal. Actually, we're in a one-party consent state. I corrected him. Thank you, Google. And this is a workplace harassment issue. Harassment? He scoffed, standing up and buttoning his jacket. It's not harassment if it's mutual, Sierra. Don't play hard to get. It's unbecoming. I'm resigning from being your assistant effective immediately, I said. I'll report to HR in the morning. I walked out. He shouted after me, You're making a mistake. I'm offering you the world. I went home. I didn't sleep. This morning, I walked into HR. Our HR director is a woman named Janice who is terrified of her own shadow and definitely terrified of Richard. I played the recording. Janice turned pale. Oh my. Well, Sierra, Richard is going through a tough time. Maybe he misinterpreted your friendliness. I'm not friendly, I said. I'm efficient. There is a difference. We can open a file, Janice mumbled, shuffling papers. But since he's the VP and, well, Mr. Eleanor, we have to move carefully. Maybe we can transfer you to the warehouse division. The warehouse is in New Jersey. I live in Manhattan. No, I said. I want a formal inquiry. Janice looked like she was going to be sick. I'll have to run this up the chain. I went back to my desk to pack my things. I wasn't going to New Jersey. 20 minutes later, my desk phone rang. Sierra? A voice like crushed ice. This is Eleanor. Come to my office, now. I thought, this is it. I'm getting fired. She's going to destroy me to protect her husband. I walked into the C-suite. The assistant waved me in, looking pitying. Eleanor was sitting behind a desk made of glass and steel. She didn't look up from her monitor. Sit, she commanded. I sat. She spun her chair around. She looks great for 50, in a scary, I drink the blood of my enemies kind of way. Janice tells me you're accusing my husband of sexual harassment, she said flatly. I'm not accusing him, I said, pulling out my phone. I'm reporting him. I have the audio. She held out a manicured hand. Play it. I played it. The silence in the room while Richard's voice droned on about power couples and cholesterol was deafening. When it finished, Eleanor didn't scream. She didn't cry. She stared at a spot on the wall for a solid 10 seconds. Then she looked at me. He thinks you ordered the salad because you love him? She asked. Yes, ma'am. And did you? I ordered the salad because it's the only thing on the menu under $25 that he doesn't complain about, and I just wanted him to eat so he'd stop talking, I said. A tiny, almost imperceptible smirk touched her lips. He's an idiot, she said. She opened a drawer and pulled out a fresh notepad. You're not going to the warehouse, Sierra. You're staying right here. Because if Richard thinks he's leaving me, he's in for a rude awakening. I own the house. I own the cars. I own this building. She leaned forward. I need you to do something for me. You have access to his calendar and his expense reports, correct? Yes. I want everything, she said. Every lunch, every client gift, every flight. Go back 3 years. If he's delusional enough to proposition a 25-year-old employee in my building, he's sloppy enough to be stealing from me. Am I keeping my job? I asked. If you find me something I can use to void his prenup? She raised an eyebrow. You're getting a raise. So I'm back at my desk. Richard is currently in a meeting, golf. I am digging through 3 years of receipts. And guys, the math isn't mathing. Update 1. It has been 3 days since the Cobb salad declaration of love, and the vibe in the office is catastrophic. I am currently operating as a double agent for the CEO. It feels like I'm in a spy movie, if the spy movie took place entirely in Microsoft Excel. Richard came back from golf on Wednesday looking smug. He walked past my desk, winked, and dropped a Starbucks cup on my coaster. Caramel macchiato, he whispered. I know it's your favorite. I drink black coffee. I have never ordered a caramel macchiato in my life. This man doesn't know me. He knows a fantasy version of me that exists solely to stroke his ego. Thanks, Richard, I said, monotone. We need to talk later, he murmured. About the transition. I assumed transition meant him leaving Eleanor. I nodded and went back to destroying him paper trail style. Here is what I found in the expense reports. Richard has been expensing approximately $4,000 a month under client relations. The receipts are vague. Dinner at Le Bernardin. Gift for potential lead. Consulting fees. But I cross-referenced his calendar. On the dates of these dinners, he wasn't with clients. He was blocked out for strategy sessions. I dug deeper. I called the restaurant for a receipt reprint for a dinner 6 months ago. I pretended to be accounting doing an audit. The receipt listed 2 guests, a bottle of Dom Perignon, and the credit card used was the company Amex. But here is the kicker. There's a recurring charge for a florist. Every Friday. A massive bouquet sent to an address in the Upper East Side. It's not Eleanor's address. And it's certainly not mine. I Googled the address. It's a luxury apartment building. I gave the file to Eleanor yesterday afternoon. She flipped through the pages. Her face was stone. "Who is she?" Eleanor asked, pointing to the address. "I don't know," I said, "but the unit is leased to a Monica V." Eleanor let out a sharp, short laugh. "Monica, his yoga instructor." "Oh," I said. Cliché. "He's not leaving me for you, Sierra," Eleanor said, closing the file. "He's using you as the life raft because Monica probably dumped him or got too expensive. He needs a new admirer to validate his midlife crisis." "That makes sense," I said. "He told me I ordered his salad with love." "He's pathetic," she said. Then she picked up her phone. "Sarah, get security up here and call Ite. I want Richard's access cut. Now." She looked at me. "Go back to your desk. Enjoy the show." I went back. 10 minutes later, Richard strolled in. He stopped at my desk. "So," he beamed. "I was thinking this weekend we could—" His computer screen went black. "That's weird," he muttered, tapping the keyboard. Then 2 large men in blazers walked in. Our building security isn't the rent-a-cop type. They are serious guys. "Mr. Sterling," one said, "we need your badge." "Excuse me?" Richard laughed. "Do you know who I am? I'm the VP." "Not anymore, sir," the guard said. "Ms. Vance, Eleanor's maiden name, she kept it professionally, has terminated your contract effective immediately for gross misconduct and embezzlement." "Embezzlement?" Richard screamed. He turned purple. "That is a lie! I demand to see my wife." "The CEO is unavailable," the guard said. "Please hand over your phone and badge, or we will escort you out forcibly." Richard looked at me. He looked for an ally. "Sierra!" he yelled. Tell them we're in love. Tell them I'm leaving for us." The entire open plan office went silent. 40 heads turned toward me. I stood up. I smoothed my skirt. "Richard," I said, loud enough for accounting to hear, "I have literally no idea what you are talking about. Please stop making a scene." The betrayal on his face was delicious. It was the look of a man who realized the NPC in his video game just went rogue. You led me on," he sputtered, as the guards grabbed his elbows. "You little snake! I bought you things." "You bought me nothing," I said. "But I think Monica enjoyed the flowers." His eyes bugged out. "How do you—" The guards dragged him out. He was kicking. He was screaming about his rights. He lost a loafer in the hallway. It was majestic. However, the "I bought you things" comment bothered me. I stayed late last night going through the client gifts again. I found it, 3 months ago. An invoice for a diamond tennis bracelet. $8,500. The expense report says, "Gift for S. Miller. Closing bonus." My last name is Miller. I never got a bracelet. I never got a closing bonus. He bought jewelry for someone else, probably Monica, and expensed it under my name to hide it from Eleanor. He used me as the shield for his affair. He framed me for receiving company assets I never touched. I just forwarded the screenshot to Eleanor with the subject line, "I think I'm going to need a lawyer." She replied in 2 minutes, "Don't worry, my lawyers are bigger." Update 2. Richard is not going quietly. In fact, he is going loudly, messily, and with the legal strategy of a toddler throwing spaghetti at a wall. It has been a week since the defenestration of the loafer. Richard has been served with divorce papers and a lawsuit for embezzlement. But because he is a narcissist, he isn't reflecting on his actions. He is blaming me. On Monday, I started getting LinkedIn notifications. Lots of them. Richard posted an article on LinkedIn. Title: The Dangers of Office Politics: How a Junior Employee Seduced Me and Destroyed a Company Legacy. He didn't name me, but he named the position. He claimed he was preyed upon by a young, ambitious climber who manipulated his kindness and accepted expensive gifts before blackmailing him to get a promotion. He spun the narrative that I was the mistress, and when he tried to break it off to save his marriage, I went to Eleanor with fake evidence. The comments were a mix of "stay strong, brother" from other divorced dads and confused emojis from industry professionals. Then the emails started. He used his personal email to blast the entire company directory, which he must have saved before he got booted. Subject: The truth about Sierra Miller. To my former colleagues, I am writing to clear my name. Sierra Miller is a predator. She accepted a $8,500 diamond bracelet from me, see attached receipt, and promised to keep our relationship secret. When I refused to promote her to director, she framed me. He attached the receipt, the one I found, the one with my name on it that he forged on the expense report. My inbox exploded. People were staring at me. The whispers were loud. Did she really take the bracelet? I always thought she was too organized. I felt sick. It's one thing to know you're innocent. It's another to have a 52-year-old man weaponize his own fraud to ruin your reputation. I ran to Eleanor's office. "He's destroying me," I said, shaking. "He sent it to everyone. I'll never work in this industry again." Eleanor was reading the email. She looked bored. "He's flailing," she said. "He knows he's dead in the water regarding the embezzlement, so he's trying to discredit the witness." "But the receipt," I said. "It has my name on it." "Sierra," Eleanor said, standing up, "do you have an $8,500 tennis bracelet?" "No, I wear an Apple Watch." "Exactly. And do you know where the bracelet is?" "No." "I do," Eleanor smiled. It was a shark smile. "Because I hired a PI to follow Monica." She opened her phone and showed me a photo. It was a high-res shot of a woman in yoga pants walking a French bulldog. On her wrist was a very sparkly diamond tennis bracelet. "We have the receipt time stamped," Eleanor said, "and we have photos of him giving it to Monica at a cafe an hour after he bought it. He put your name on the expense report, but the inventory went to the yoga instructor. So, you can prove he's lying?" "I can prove he's defaming you," Eleanor said, "and that puts him in a very interesting position." She hit a button on her desk phone. "Get legal in here. We're adding a defamation count to the suit, and draft a cease and desist." Then, the entitlement escalated to physical stalking. Last night, I was leaving my apartment. I live in a walk-up. Richard was sitting on the stoop. He looked terrible. Roots showing, wrinkled shirt. He was holding a box. "Sierra," he slurred. He was drunk. I stayed behind the glass security door. "Go away, Richard." "I brought you the stuff," he said, holding up the box. "The stuff I bought you. If you just admit it, we can fix this." "You didn't buy me anything," I yelled through the glass. "You bought that stuff for Monica." He froze. "Who told you about Monica?" "Everyone knows, Richard." "You're not subtle." He slammed his hand against the glass. "You ruined my life. I was the VP. I had a Porsche. Now I'm living in a motel because Eleanor froze the joint accounts." "You ruined your own life," I said. "I just ordered the salad." "I'm going to sue you," he spat. "I'm going to tell them you harassed me. I'm going to say you groomed me. You're young, you're pretty, nobody will believe you didn't want this." "I have the recordings, Richard," I said. "And Eleanor has the photos of Monica wearing the bracelet." He stopped banging. The color drained from his face. She knows about the bracelet?" "She knows everything." "Go home, Richard." "Oh, wait, you don't have one." I called the police. He ran before they got there, leaving the box behind. I opened the box with a stick, just in case. It was full of office supplies. Staplers, pens, a label maker. He stole the office supplies on his way out and tried to frame me with staplers? This man is unreal. Update 3. We just left the mediation room. I need a drink. A real one. So, Richard tried to sue for wrongful termination. His lawyer, a guy who looks like he advertises on bus benches, argued that Richard's lapse in judgment regarding the expense reports was common industry practice, and that firing him was a vindictive move by an estranged wife. They also tried to subpoena me as a witness to prove I invited the attention. Eleanor didn't even blink. She brought 3 binders. Binder 1, the financials. It wasn't just the bracelet. It was spa days. It was a trip to Cabo listed as logistics conference. It was a $5,000 charge for consulting services that traced back to a Shell LLC registered to Richard's brother. Total embezzlement, $240,000 over 4 years. Binder 2, the Monica files. Photos, so many photos. Richard and Monica. Richard giving Monica the bracelet. Richard paying Monica's rent using company funds. And the kicker, a text thread Eleanor recovered from his company phone, which he stupidly didn't wipe properly. Richard to Monica. Don't worry, babe, I expense the necklace under the new assistant's name. Eleanor never checks the small accounts. Binder 3, the Sierra files. This was my binder. It contained my recordings, my emails rejecting him, and the affidavit from HR, Janice finally grew a spine, confirming I reported him immediately. It also contained the cease and desist for the defamation regarding the LinkedIn post. Richard sat across the table. He looked smaller. The dye job was fading to a weird orange. His lawyer read the text message about expensing the necklace under my name. The lawyer closed his folder. He looked at Richard. You told me the assistant stole the jewelry, the lawyer said. She did, Richard lied, sweating. That text, that was a joke. Locker room talk. It's a text message about fraud, Richard, Eleanor said calmly. It's a felony. Eleanor slid a piece of paper across the table. Here is the offer, she said. Richard drops the wrongful termination suit. Richard signs a confession regarding the embezzlement. Richard agrees to a repayment plan for the $240,000, which will come out of his share of the house sale. He gets nothing else. Richard issues a public retraction of his LinkedIn post and an apology to me, Sierra Miller. If he refuses, Eleanor hands the binders to the district attorney. You wouldn't, Richard whispered. I'm your husband. You're my liability, Eleanor said. Sign it, or I call the cops. And Richard, prison in New York isn't like the country club. Richard looked at his lawyer. The lawyer shrugged. Sign it. They have you on 14 counts of fraud. He signed. His hand was shaking so bad he ripped the paper. Then, he looked at me. The entitlement flared up one last time. I hope you're happy, he sneered. You broke up a family over a salad. I broke up a crime ring, I said. And the salad was mediocre. Final update. It has been 2 months. The dust has settled. Richard. He is officially divorced. He walked away with 0 alimony and about $40,000 in equity from the house sale after the embezzlement repayment was deducted. He lives in a studio apartment in Queens. I know this because he updated his LinkedIn after posting the mandatory apology. His new job title? Sales associate at a used car dealership in New Jersey. The irony of him selling cars he probably can't drive stick in is not lost on me. Monica dumped him the second the credit card stopped working. Apparently, their spiritual connection was heavily reliant on Amex points. Eleanor. She is terrifying and wonderful. She called me into her office last week. You handled yourself well, she said. Most people would have quit. I have student loans, I said. I can't afford to quit. Good answer. She handed me a file. I'm creating a new role. Director of Internal Compliance. You're good at finding discrepancies. And you're not afraid of powerful men. I need someone to audit the other departments. Does it come with a raise? 30%. I'll take it. Me. I moved out of the open plan bullpen. I have an office. It has a door. I bought myself a tennis bracelet. It's fake. Cubic zirconia cost me $50 on Amazon, but I wear it to meetings as a reminder. The reputation damage from Richard's email lingered for a week or two, but the public apology and Eleanor's terrifying memo to the staff threatening termination for gossip killed it. Now people just look at me with fear. I'm okay with fear. Fear means they won't ask me to order their lunch. I walked past the used car lot in NJ last weekend. I was visiting a friend. I swear I wasn't stalking. I saw Richard. He was wearing a polo shirt that was too tight, trying to sell a 2014 Honda Civic to a teenager. He looked tired. He looked old. He didn't see me. I drove past in my efficient, sensible Toyota, drinking a black coffee. Justice wasn't a big explosion. It wasn't him going to jail. Justice was him having to work for a living, just like the rest of us. And honestly, that's the worst punishment for a man like him.
During Christmas dinner, my wife blurted, "I didn't want you finding out like this, but I'm in love with your brother." The table went silent. I said, "Thanks for telling me." Then I revealed I'd known for months and had been planning my exit. When I announced I was buying out his share of our family business, I, 38 male, watched my wife drop the bomb at Christmas dinner. And honestly, I'd been waiting for this moment. Everyone was there. Parents, my brother and his wife, aunts, uncles, the whole deal. Ham on the table, someone's green bean casserole nobody was eating, typical holiday scene. Then my wife sets down her fork with this heavy clunk. I need to say something. Everyone stopped mid-chew. I can't keep this inside anymore. I didn't want you finding out like this, but I'm in love with someone else. Long dramatic pause. I'm in love with your brother. The silence was incredible, like someone had hit mute on the whole room. My brother looked like he was going to throw up. His wife's mouth literally fell open. My mom made this choking sound. I took a sip of wine. "Thanks for telling me." My wife blinked. "What?" "Thanks, appreciate the honesty. Little late though." "What do you mean?" "I mean, I've known for a while now. Found the texts, the hotel receipts, the whole production." Now everyone was staring at me instead. My brother found his voice. You knew?" "Yeah, gave me time to handle things properly though." Speaking of which, I reached under my chair for a folder I'd tucked there earlier. "I'm buying you out of the business, brother. Full valuations in here. 3 independent appraisals. You've got your notice period per our partnership agreement to accept, or we go to forced sale." Slid the folder across the table. It bumped his wine glass. "Also," I looked at my wife, "I filed for divorce. You were served last week. Remember that woman at your yoga class who seemed super interested in trying the studio?" Process server. "Sorry about that." Her face went through about 5 different expressions. "You filed for divorce?" "Yeah. And that marriage counselor we've been seeing? My lawyer recommended her. She documented every session where you swore you wanted to work things out while actively sleeping with my brother. State considers that pretty relevant." My brother grabbed the folder, started flipping through. His face got redder with each page. "This valuation is garbage, way too low." "No, it's market rate for a small construction company with aging equipment and inconsistent revenue." 3 different people said basically the same number. "You can challenge it, but the partnership agreement's clear. Either you buy me out at valuation, I buy you out, or we force sale, your move." My dad finally spoke. "What in the hell is going on?" "Your son's been sleeping with your other son's wife. Also been using company money for hotels. That's fraud. Also in the folder." My brother's wife stood up so fast her chair crashed backward. "You what? Babe, it's not? You've been screwing his wife? With business money?" "It's technically both our money," I said helpfully. "But yeah, traced about $8,000 in expenses. Hotels, dinners, 1 weekend trip that was definitely not a job site visit." My mom was crying. My dad looked like someone had punched him. My wife grabbed my arm. "We can fix this. I'll end it. We'll do real counseling. You've been to 6 sessions where you lied to the therapist's face about still seeing him. All documented. I'm good. You can't just take the business." "Not taking it. Buying him out at fair market value. Or he can buy me out if he's got $250,000 lying around." Spoiler, he doesn't. My brother was full red now. "This is bullshit. You planned this whole thing." "Yeah, I did. While you two were planning, what exactly? That part I never figured out. Were you gonna ask me to step aside, get divorced, and you'd just slide in? What was the endgame here?" They looked at each other. Busted. "Oh wow, you actually had a plan. You talked about a future together. That's almost cute." "We fell in love," my wife said. "You don't understand. I understand you made choices. Every hotel room, every lie, every time you came home and kissed me, knowing where you'd been. Choices." I stood up, grabbed my coat. "Merry Christmas, everyone. Mom, Dad, sorry you had to find out like this." She kind of forced my hand. "Brother, you've got your deadline on that offer. Wife, your stuff's packed. Storage units in your name, keys with the divorce papers. Don't come to the house." Walked out to my truck. Hands were shaking when I started the engine, but I was grinning. Worth it. Update 1. The aftermath was exactly as messy as expected. My brother called that night, screaming about theft, about rigged valuations, about lawyers. Go ahead and lawyer up. Partnership agreement was written by Dad's attorney specifically to prevent exactly this kind of drama. Fair market value buyout or forced sale. Those are your options. You don't have that kind of cash. Actually got a loan approved already. Been working on this for a while. Money's ready to go. He hung up, called back an hour later, more yelling. I stopped answering. My wife showed up at the house next morning. I'd changed the locks the day before, knew she'd try. Watched through the Ring doorbell as she tried her tea. Confusion, then anger building on her face. She started pounding. Open this door right now. Hit the intercom. House is in my name. Bought it before we got married. You're not on the deed. Your stuff's in storage, like I said. You can't lock me out of my house. It's not your house. Never was. You need to leave. I have rights. Cool. Discuss them with your lawyer. Right now you're trespassing. She didn't leave. Started full-on screaming about lawyers and rights and how I was going to regret this. Called the cops. Non-emergency line. Explained the situation calmly. 2 officers showed up. She immediately switched to tears. Victim mode activated. Poor her, locked out by her cruel husband. Nowhere to go. Cop looked tired. Sir, can you explain? Showed him the divorce filing. The deed showing my sole ownership. The documented affair. Ma'am, this isn't your property. You need to leave. Where am I supposed to go? Cop gestured to my brother's truck, parked down the street. He'd been waiting there the whole time, watching. Looks like you got options. After they left, my phone exploded. Her friends, some mutual people, couple of her relatives. All the same energy. I was cruel, vindictive, punishing her for a mistake. Sent them all the same message. She had an affair with my brother for months. Lied repeatedly, including in counseling. Used our money for hotels. I filed for divorce. If you want to support her through that, go ahead. But I'm done being lied to. Most went quiet. Few doubled down with everyone makes mistakes and you should forgive. Blocked those. My parents called. Mom was still crying. Dad sounded exhausted. Your brother wants to negotiate on the business valuation. Nothing to negotiate. 3 independent appraisals. That's the number. He can't afford to buy you out. Then he accepts my offer or we force sale and split whatever it brings. Those are his options. This is family. He slept with my wife, Dad, using company funds. That's not family. That's betrayal with a side of fraud. Silence. What do you need from us? Dad finally asked. Time. Space. That's it. Mom got on. She's telling people you were emotionally distant, that you drove her to this. Mom, I've got screenshots of them mocking me, calling me names, coordinating around my schedule. This wasn't about me being distant. This was about them being selfish. I want to believe you, but I'll send you the evidence, all of it. You can decide for yourself. Sent them everything that night. The texts, the receipts, the timeline. They stopped pushing after that. My brother tried a different approach, showed up at a job site where I was meeting a contractor. We need to talk. Not here. You're really gonna do this? Destroy the business? Over her? Over both of you? You didn't just sleep with my wife. You stole from our company. That's criminal if I want to push it. It's my company too. Was yours, and you defrauded it. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. The contractor was backing away slowly, clearly uncomfortable. My brother lowered his voice. What do you want? You want me to beg? I want you to accept the buyout. Take your money, go start over somewhere else. We're done being partners. And if I refuse, then I force the sale. Business goes on the market. We split whatever it sells for after costs and fees. You'll probably net less than my offer your call. He got in my face. You're tearing this family apart. No. You did that when you started banging my wife. I'm just cleaning up the mess. He shoved me. Not hard, but enough. The contractor stepped between us. All right, that's enough. You gotta go, man. My brother left. Contractor looked at me. Family business? Yeah, those never work out. The real game started soon after. My brother hired a lawyer, filed motions claiming the partnership agreement was invalid, signed under duress that I'd manipulated the valuation. My lawyer was ready. This is all stalling. Agreement was signed years ago when you formed the business. Both had lawyers. 3 different valuators came to the same number. He's got nothing. What's he trying to do? Either hoping you'll get tired and take less, or he's scrambling to find money to buy you out. Neither's gonna work. Meanwhile, my wife was workshopping her victim story. I was emotionally abusive, financially controlling, she'd found real love, and I was punishing her for it. Problem was, we had mutual friends who'd actually spent time with us, who knew what our relationship was really like. Her narrative wasn't sticking. One friend called. She's claiming you gaslit her for years. She's been lying for months and got caught. Now she's mad there are consequences. Yeah, that's what I figured. Just wanted you to know most people aren't buying her version. The counselor I'd been seeing, the one my lawyer recommended, submitted notes to the court. Every session where my wife claimed to want to save the marriage while actively continuing the affair. Her lack of remorse when confronted with evidence, all documented, all submitted with the divorce filing. My brother's wife filed for divorce too. Can't blame her. Their strategy became obvious pretty fast. Delay everything. Make it expensive and exhausting for me to fight. Wasn't gonna work. I'd planned for this. Had the money set aside, had the documentation, had the time. They tried claiming I'd been stealing from the business. Hired a forensic accountant who went through every transaction. Came back clean. Every withdrawal I made was documented and justified. My brother's expenses, different story. Personal charges on the company card, cash withdrawals with no backup, inflated mileage claims. He's in serious trouble, my lawyer said. This is textbook fraud. You could press criminal charges. Don't want him in jail. Just want him out of my business and out of my life. Then keep the pressure on the buyout. He's running out of options. My brother tried one more play. Showed up at my parents' house when he knew I'd be there for dinner. Can we talk? Just the two of us? Dad looked at me. I shrugged. Sure. We went out to the garage. He closed the door. Look, I know I screwed up. Screwed up is forgetting someone's birthday. You deliberately betrayed me for months. I know, I'm sorry, but this business thing, you're taking this too far. Am I? You used company money to cheat with my wife. That's fraud. I'm being generous by just buying you out. I can't afford to start over. That buyout money won't last long. Should have thought about that before. Come on, man, I'm your brother. Yeah, you were. Then you decided to sleep with my wife. Actions have consequences. Fine. You want me to beg? I'll beg. Please, don't do this. We can work something out. There's nothing to work out. Accept the buyout or we force sale. Those are your options. This conversation is over. He grabbed my arm as I turned to leave. You're really gonna choose money over family? I looked at his hand on my arm, then at his face. You chose my wife over family. Don't lecture me about priorities. Shook him off and went back inside. Update 2. My brother accepted the buyout eventually. Didn't have a choice. His lawyer told him they'd lose if it went to court. Signed everything at a lawyer's office. Didn't speak to each other. Just signatures, check handed over, done. Walked out with full ownership of the business I'd built. He walked out with enough money to not be broke, but nowhere near enough to compete with me. His wife took him apart in their divorce. Got the house, most of the savings, retirement accounts. Turns out judges really don't like cheaters, especially when it's documented. My divorce moved faster than expected. My wife tried fighting for half the business value, alimony, the house, everything. Her lawyer wasn't great. Kept filing stuff that got dismissed. Making arguments that had no legal basis. Mine was better. Presented the affair evidence, the timeline of lies, the documented dishonesty in marriage counseling, the marital fault. Judge was not sympathetic. Ma'am, you engaged in an affair with your husband's brother, used marital assets to facilitate it, and repeatedly lied in counseling while claiming you wanted reconciliation. I'm not rewarding that behavior. She got her personal belongings, her car, her retirement account. That's it. No house, no business, no alimony. We'd only been married 6 years, and she'd been cheating for a good chunk of it. She lost it in the courtroom. Started yelling about fairness, about how I'd trapped her, how it was all planned. Judge was done. You trapped yourself, ma'am. Your choices led to these consequences. Motion denied. We're finished here. Her family went nuclear. I was vindictive, cruel, heartless. How could I not forgive family? Blocked them all. Didn't need that noise. My family split. Mom tried staying neutral but eventually sided with Dad, who was firmly in my corner. Some extended family picked sides. One aunt who'd always liked my brother better stopped talking to me. Didn't matter. Family who'd side with someone who betrayed you like that isn't family worth keeping. The business actually got better without my brother. Turns out he'd been the source of most of our problems. Late to jobs, sloppy work, making promises we couldn't deliver. Hired a former military guy to manage projects. Things tightened up fast. Revenue went up. My ex-wife and brother tried making it work for real after everything settled. Lasted maybe a season. Turns out relationships built on lies and betrayal aren't super stable foundations. Heard through mutual connections, they split up. She moved back in with her parents. He moved out of state to work for someone else's company. Got a message from my brother after a while. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I wanted to say I'm sorry for all of it. You didn't deserve what we did. Didn't respond. Sorry doesn't rebuild trust. Doesn't undo damage. It's just words. My ex-wife tried reaching out too. New number I hadn't blocked yet. I made a mistake. I see that now. Can we talk? Maybe try again? No. You won't even hear me out? I heard you out for months while you lied to my face. I'm good. I still love you. You loved the life I provided. There's a difference. Lose this number. Blocked her. Here's what nobody tells you about this kind of betrayal. It's not even the cheating itself. It's everything around it. The lies, the planning, the disrespect of thinking you're too stupid to notice. The way they used resources you provided to betray you. That's what cuts. Not that she wanted someone else. People fall out of love. But the sneaking, the gaslighting, the theft of time and money. That was all choice. And my brother? Known him my whole life. Knew everything about me. Still chose this. That's not a mistake. That's character. Update 3. It's been over a year since that Christmas dinner. Time to close this out. The business is doing really well. Expanded into commercial projects. Hired more people. Got better equipment. Turns out not having someone actively creating problems helps a lot. My ex-wife works retail now from what I heard. Small apartment, struggling. Part of me feels bad. Most of me doesn't. Choices, consequences. My brother got engaged to someone new. Moved to a different state. We don't talk. Probably never will. Mom wanted everyone together for Christmas this year. I said no. She cried about it. But some things can't be fixed with forced holiday gatherings. Dad got it. Your brother asks about you sometimes. Cool. That's it? Just cool? What else is there to say? He did what he did. I responded, we're done. He's still your brother. Biologically, yeah. Dad sighed but dropped it. The divorce got challenged one more time. My ex-wife's new lawyer tried claiming hidden assets. Another forensic accountant went through everything. Came back clean. Judge was pissed. This is the second frivolous motion from your client. One more and I'm sanctioning both of you. That ended it. Final decree came through. Officially done. Sold the house after a while. Too many ghosts. Got a smaller place closer to work. It's mine. Clean slate. Started dating someone recently. Taking it slow. She knows the whole story. Thinks I handled it well. I think I just survived it. Here's what I learned. When something feels wrong, trust that. Don't wait for permission to protect yourself. Don't let anyone guilt you for having boundaries. My ex-wife needed me to be the bad guy. The one who overreacted, who was controlling, who destroyed everything. She needed that to justify her choices. Didn't give it to her. Just presented facts and let them speak. My brother wanted an emotional fight. Drama about family and loyalty and feelings. Wanted chaos. Didn't give him that either. Made it business. Clean, documented, by the book. They wanted me to be someone I'm not, someone who'd blow up or roll over. I was neither, just calculated. Do I regret the Christmas dinner reveal? Sometimes. Could have been private, but they were planning their thing, had their timelines. I just moved first. The business is mine now. The house is mine. My life is mine. Someone asked recently if I'd forgive them. Honestly, I don't think about them enough to forgive them. They're just not in my life anymore. That's not bitterness. That's just reality. Betray someone that deeply. You don't get to stay in their story. You become a cautionary tale. My ex-wife posts on social media about growth and second chances. Therapy speak about learning from mistakes. Good for her. But it's not my problem. My brother tells people we had a business falling out. Easier than admitting what he actually did. Whatever helps him sleep. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was rebuilding trust in my own judgment. I'd missed signs, believed lies, gave chances that weren't deserved. That took work. Still working on it. But I'm better at boundaries now. Better at listening to my gut. Better at walking away when something's off. That Christmas dinner ended one life and started another. Wasn't easy, wasn't fun. But it was necessary. They're living with their choices. I'm living with mine. Mine led somewhere better. That's enough. I found a calculator app on my fiancée's phone that was actually a secret vault. The password was her ex's birthday. Inside were thousands of messages planning to leave me after the wedding. I printed them as her vows and left them at the altar. Original post: I, 31 male, was supposed to get married yesterday. Keyword, supposed to. My fiancé, 28, and I have been together for 3 years, engaged for 8 months. Wedding was planned for 150 guests, venue booked, deposits paid, dress bought, the whole thing. We'd sunk about $35 into it between both of us. I paid roughly $22 of that. 3 weeks ago I borrowed her phone. Mine was dead, needed to check my work email real quick. She was in the shower. No big deal, we've always been open about phones. Password shared, no secrets. Or so I thought. I unlocked her phone, went to open Chrome and accidentally swiped left instead of right. Brought up her app page. That's when I saw it, a calculator app. But here's the thing, she already had a calculator app, the default iPhone one. This was a different icon, slightly off. Same calculator look, but not quite right. Something in my gut twisted. I'd heard about these vault apps that look like normal apps but hide stuff when you put in the right code. I opened it. Calculator interface came up. I tried the basic calculation that supposedly opened some of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 it equals nothing. Tried her birthday. 0328 equals nothing. Then, I don't know why, but I tried her ex's birthday. The one she dated for 5 years before me. The one she claimed she was totally over. 1050 equals. The screen went black for a second. Then opened to a folder full of text message screenshots, photos, and documents. My hand started shaking. I started reading. The messages went back 6 months. Screenshots of text conversations between her and her ex. Thousands of them. Can't wait until this is over. Then we can finally be together. He's so clueless, Lumeo. Actually thinks I love him. The wedding is just to make my parents happy. Dad said he'd pay off my student loans if I settled down with a good man. After the wedding, I'll give it 6 months, file for divorce, and we can be together. Dad will have already paid the loans. He makes good money. I'll probably get alimony too. My lawyer said I should be fine. I know this sounds awful, but he's like a placeholder. You're who I actually want to be with. This is just financially smart. Message after message, discussing their future together. Her calling me boring, saying I was safe and stable, but not what she really wanted. Making fun of things I'd said, things I'd done, inside jokes about me. Photos of us together, with her captioning them, "Kill me now." Her ex was in on it, encouraging it. They'd been seeing each other the whole time, meeting up when I was at work. The girls' nights she'd been having, not with her friends. I sat on the bathroom floor outside the shower, reading through everything. Felt like I was going to throw up. She came out of the shower. "What's wrong? You look pale." I just stared at her, handed her the phone, vault open. The color drained from her face. "Baby, wait, that's not." "Not what?" "Not exactly what it looks like?" She started crying. The waterworks came on instantly. "It was a mistake. We were just talking. It didn't mean anything. There are 6 months of messages here. Detailed plans to marry me for financial gain and then leave me. That's fraud. That's not a mistake." "No, you're taking it out of context." I was confused. I didn't mean those things. "You called me a placeholder. You said I was clueless. You've been cheating on me for 6 months while planning a wedding." "I haven't been cheating. We just talked." I pulled up one of the messages. Read it out loud. "Can't wait to feel you inside me again. It's been too long. Next Tuesday when he's at his conference." I'd been at a conference 3 weeks ago. Tuesday night. "Tell me that's just talking." She crumbled, started full-on sobbing. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. I love you. He means nothing. It was cold feet, wedding jitters. I'll cut him off right now, please. The wedding is in 3 weeks. I know, and I want to marry you, only you. Please, we can work through this." I grabbed my phone charger, my wallet, my keys. "I'm gonna stay at my buddy's place. Don't contact me." "Wait, please. We can fix this." I left. Spent the last 3 weeks at my friend's apartment, reading through everything multiple times, consulting with a lawyer about my options, making a decision. Here's what I learned from the lawyer. What she did isn't technically illegal in our state. Marrying someone under false pretenses isn't fraud unless you lie about specific legal things, identity, existing marriage, etc. Her planning to divorce me quickly for financial gain is scummy but not criminal. I could cancel the wedding, get back whatever deposits were refundable, not many, tell everyone what happened, move on. Or I could let her show everyone who she really is. I called her a week ago, kept my voice neutral. I've been thinking, I overreacted, let's talk. She was ecstatic. Oh my God, yes, thank you. I knew you'd understand. It was just cold feet. I love you so much. We met for coffee. She apologized profusely, swore she'd cut off her ex, said she wanted only me, cried about how scared she was that I'd leave her. I told her I forgave her, that we'd work through it, that the wedding was still on. She hugged me, kissed me, told me I was amazing, that she'd spend forever making it up to me. I spent the next 2 weeks preparing, went to the print shop, printed out 150 copies of the most damning messages, full screenshots with timestamps, her number visible, contact names clear, compiled them into a neat little booklet. About 20 pages worth. The cover page said, the vows she actually meant, a collection of text messages between her name and ex's name. I told the wedding coordinator there was a change to the ceremony program, that I'd be distributing special booklets instead of the standard programs. She thought it was sweet, some kind of love letter compilation. Yesterday was the wedding day. I got dressed, showed up at the venue, played the part of the happy groom. Guests arrived. Each one got handed a booklet by the ushers. Most people just tucked them away, figured they'd read them during the boring parts of the ceremony. The ceremony started. She walked down the aisle in her $4,000 dress, smiling, thinking she'd won, thinking she'd fooled me. We got to the altar. Officiant started his speech about love and commitment. Then he got to the vows portion. And now, the groom has prepared something special for his bride. I pulled out my own copy of the booklet from my jacket pocket. Looked at her. Her smile started to falter. I thought about writing traditional vows, I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. But then I realized you'd already written your own vows. Just not to me. I held up the booklet. So I decided to share them with everyone here. Her face went white. She started to reach for me. Don't. Page 1, I continued. A text from 6 months ago where you tell your ex that I'm a placeholder, that you're only marrying me so your dad will pay off your student loans. People started opening their booklets, flipping through pages. I heard gasps from the pews. Page 5 has some nice ones, where you discuss meeting up with him while I was at work. Page 7 has your plans for our honeymoon, which apparently you were going to cut short to fly back and see him. Her mother stood up. What is going on? Your daughter has been planning to divorce me approximately 6 months after today. It's all documented in that booklet. Thousands of messages between her and her ex, including the ones where she admits she's marrying me for money and stability while actually wanting to be with him. The venue erupted. People yelling, her mother screaming, her bridesmaids trying to grab the booklets from guests. I looked at my almost wife. She was crying, shaking, trying to speak but nothing coming out. I found your Vault app, I said quietly, just to her. The calculator one. Password was his birthday, by the way. Might want to be less obvious next time you commit fraud. Then I walked out. Left her at the altar in her expensive dress, surrounded by 150 people who now knew exactly who she was. Drove to the airport, took the honeymoon trip by myself, cashed in both tickets for credit, used it to fly somewhere else entirely. Turned off my phone. That was yesterday. I'm writing this from a hotel room in a city I've never been to before, drinking overpriced minibar whiskey. And honestly, I feel okay. Not great, not terrible, just okay. My phone's been off since the ceremony, probably hundreds of messages waiting, don't care. She wanted a memorable wedding, she got one. Update 1, 4 days later, turned my phone back on this morning. 326 texts, 89 calls, voicemails full. Let me break down the categories. Her, 143 texts ranging from how could you to you're a monster to please talk to me to I'm going to sue you to I still love you. Her mother, 37 texts and multiple voicemails about how I humiliated her daughter and ruined her reputation and how I'm gonna pay for this. Her father, 2 texts. Both just said, call me when you can. My family, supportive. My mom called to ask if I was okay. My brother texted, legendary bro, absolutely legendary. Friends, split. Some thought I went too far. Most understood. Her bridesmaids, several angry texts about how I'm abusive and cruel. One of them, though, texted me privately. I knew something was off. She talked about you like you were a job, not a relationship. You did the right thing. Random guests, people I barely knew texting to say they were sorry or that they understood or asking what happens next. And then there were the texts from her ex. Yeah. He reached out. Dude, that was messed up. You didn't have to do that to her. She's devastated. I replied, you were helping her plan to commit marriage fraud. Stay out of my life. Him, it wasn't fraud. She just had doubts. Everyone has doubts. She had a 6-month affair and was marrying me specifically to get her dad to pay off loans before divorcing me. That's not doubts. That's a con. You're just bitter. I blocked him, checked my bank account. The wedding venue charged me a cleaning fee. Apparently several guests got into arguments during the chaos and security had to escort people out. One of her uncles threw a booklet at her cousin who defended me. Whole thing was a disaster. Cost me an extra $800. Worth every penny. Called the hotel where we'd booked the honeymoon suite before I switched my trip. Explained the situation. They were surprisingly cool about it, said they'd heard wedding drama stories, but this was a new one. Refunded the room. Another $2,300 back. Called my lawyer. Told him what happened. He was quiet for a long moment, then said, I can't decide if that was brilliant or insane. Probably both. She could technically sue you for emotional distress or defamation, but given the messages are real and you can prove everything, she'd likely lose. Plus, suing would just make it all public record. My guess is she won't. He was right. She hasn't lawyered up yet. Got a call from her father yesterday. Against my better judgment, I answered, him, I heard what happened. I'm sure you have. My daughter told me her side. I'm sure she did. Did her side include the part where she was planning to use you to pay off her loans, marry me for stability, then divorce me for alimony so she could be with her ex? Long silence. She said you misunderstood some messages. Did she show you the messages? Because I have all of them. I can forward them to you if you'd like to see what you were funding. Another pause. Him. That won't be necessary. Me, did you pay off her loans yet? I was going to transfer the money this week. Might want to rethink that. I appreciate you telling me what was going on. I'm sorry this happened to you. Thanks. He hung up. Decent guy, honestly. Feel bad for him. His daughter played him too. My friend, whose couch I'd been crashing on before all this, texted, Dude, when are you getting back? We need to talk about what you're doing next. Good question. I'd taken the week off work for the honeymoon. Still had 3 days left. The city I flew to was nice, but I wasn't really present. Just going through motions. Decided to head home, face the music, deal with the fallout. Flew back yesterday. Got to my apartment. It's weird being here. She'd moved some of her stuff in over the last few months. Not everything, but enough that there are gaps now. Her toothbrush holder, her favorite mug, the throw pillows she insisted we needed. I boxed up everything of hers I could find, put it by the door. Texted her, your stuff is boxed up. You can pick it up this weekend. Let me know when you're coming so I'm not here. She replied within minutes, can we please talk, face to face? Me, no, you owe me that much. I don't owe you anything. You can get your stuff or I'm donating it. Choose. You're being cruel. I didn't respond. She showed up Saturday with her sister and mother. I stayed at my buddy's place. He went to my apartment to supervise. Texted me updates. Friend, they're here. Mom is pissed. Giving me death glares. Her sister asked where you were. Told her you didn't want to be here. She called you a coward. They're arguing about whose fault this is. Mom blames your ex. Sister blames you. Your ex is crying. They're taking the boxes. Mom just asked if you're keeping the ring. I said, I don't know. The ring, right? I'd completely forgotten about the engagement ring. $8,500. Still have it. Friend, they're gone. Place is clear. Your ex left you a note. I went back to the apartment, found the note on the kitchen counter. I know you hate me. I know I messed up, but what you did was worse. You humiliated me in front of everyone I know. My family is furious with me. I've lost friends. My reputation is destroyed. All because I had some doubts about us. You could have just talked to me. We could have worked through it. Instead, you chose to be vindictive. I hope you're happy with yourself. I hope it was worth ruining my life. Not a single apology. Not a single acknowledgement of what she actually did. Just victim mentality. I crumpled up the note, threw it away. Update 2. 2 weeks later. Things escalated. First, her mother started a phone campaign. Called my mother, crying about how I destroyed her baby's life. My mom, bless her, shut that down fast. Mom, your daughter was committing fraud. My son did what he had to do. Her mother, he humiliated her publicly. There were better ways to handle it. She humiliated herself. She wrote those messages. He just made sure people knew the truth before she could scam him. Her mother hung up on my mom. Then called my brother. He didn't answer. Then came the Facebook post. Her mother wrote a long, detailed post about abusive men who punish women for having cold feet, and publicly shaming your partner is emotional abuse, and how I was controlling and vindictive. Didn't name me directly, but everyone knew who it was about. The comments were mixed. Some of her friends and family rallied around her. Others, including people who were at the wedding and read the booklets, called out the post. One comment that got a ton of likes. She wasn't having cold feet. She was actively planning to commit marriage fraud. There's a difference. Her mother blocked everyone who disagreed with her. My ex started her own campaign. Posted vague quotes about betrayal and learning who your real friends are and surviving narcissistic abuse. Again, didn't name me, but the implication was clear. I was the abuser. She was the victim. Some people bought it. Most people who'd been at the wedding or seen the booklets didn't. Then things got weirder. Her ex, the one she'd been planning to run away with, posted a long thing about supporting the woman he loves through hard times and standing by her side against hatred. Apparently, they were going public with their relationship now. 2 weeks after she was supposed to marry me, someone commented, "Wasn't she engaged to someone else like 2 weeks ago?" He replied, "Sometimes you can't help who you love. We tried to stay apart, but we can't deny our connection anymore." The mental gymnastics were impressive. Then I got a call from an unknown number. Answered it. "Is this my name?" "Who's asking?" "This is law firm name. We're calling on behalf of my ex's name. She'd like to discuss a settlement regarding the emotional distress caused by your actions at the wedding." I laughed. Couldn't help it. "A settlement?" "Yes. Our client has suffered significant emotional harm, damage to her reputation, and potential lost economic opportunities due to your public disclosure of private communications. She's willing to settle for $25,000 to avoid litigation." Let me get this straight. She wants me to pay her $25,000 because I exposed her plan to commit marriage fraud. Our client disputes the characterization of her actions as fraud. The messages were taken out of context. Your public distribution of private communications. Were they private? Because they were about me, about plans that directly affected my life. That's not private. We believe we have grounds for a defamation suit. Defamation requires false statements. Everything in those booklets was true. Direct screenshots of her actual messages. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation. You know this. I know you know this. So either you're a real lawyer billing her by the hour, knowing this will go nowhere, or you're her cousin pretending to be a lawyer. Which is it? Pause. Our offer stands. You have 1 week to respond. They hung up. I called my lawyer, told him about the call. "Lawyer, they're bluffing. No legitimate attorney would take that case. It's probably a friend or family member trying to scare you. Ignore it." Me, "And if they do sue?" Lawyer, "Then we countersue for the cost of the wedding, emotional distress, fraud, and anything else we can think of. She'd be opening herself up to way more legal trouble than you." I doubt she's that stupid. He was right. The lawsuit never materialized. But the harassment didn't stop. Her bridesmaids started leaving negative reviews on my business's website. I'm a freelance consultant. Didn't name me directly, just vague complaints about unethical practices and can't be trusted. I reported them to the platform. Most got taken down for being fake reviews with no transaction history. One of her cousins showed up at my apartment building. Building manager called me. Manager, there's a woman in the lobby saying she needs to talk to you. Says it's urgent. Should I let her up? Me? What does she look like? He described her. Her cousin. The one who'd been particularly vocal on social media. No, she's not welcome here. If she doesn't leave, call the police. You got it. She apparently left after he told her the police were being called. Then my ex herself showed up, caught me leaving for the gym. She was waiting by my car. We need to talk. No, we don't. Please. 5 minutes. I have nothing to say to you. Fine. Then listen. What you did was unforgivable. You had no right. I had every right. You were planning to defraud me, to use me. Everything I did was legal. Everything you did was manipulative and wrong. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. For 6 months? That's not a mistake. That's a calculated plan. I would have stopped. I was confused. You were confused about whether to keep lying to me or just go ahead and marry me anyway before running off with your ex? Yeah, real confusing. I deserve to be confronted privately, not humiliated in public. You deserve to have everyone who was about to watch you make fraudulent vows know the truth. They deserved to know who they were celebrating. I gave them that information. You're heartless. I'm not the one who called my fiancé a placeholder. I'm not the one who mocked him to my affair partner. I'm not the one planning to use him for money. She started crying. Again. I loved you. No, you didn't. You loved what I could provide. There's a difference. I got in my car and drove away. Watched her in the rearview mirror, standing in the parking lot, crying. Felt nothing. Final update. 6 weeks later, life has settled into a new normal. Figured I'd post one last update since people keep asking. The harassment mostly stopped. Her mother blocked me on everything. My ex stopped trying to contact me after the parking lot encounter. Her bridesmaids moved on to whatever drama comes next. Got a formal letter from an actual lawyer 2 weeks ago. Not a lawsuit, just a letter requesting I remove her contact information from the booklets if I had any remaining copies and cease any further distribution. Reasonable request. I didn't have any more copies anyway. The print shop deleted the order after printing, so I just had my lawyer send back a letter confirming I wouldn't distribute anything further. That was the end of it legally. Financially, the wedding debacle cost me about $18,000 total after refunds. She'd contributed $3,000. Her father was supposed to contribute $10,000 but pulled that after learning what she'd done. So the vendors came after both of us for the remaining balances. We each paid half of what was owed. I got my $18K loss, she got her $11K loss. Her $3K original contribution plus her half of what wasn't covered. Venue, caterer, and photographer were the big ones that wouldn't refund anything. The engagement ring? I sold it. Got $6,200 for it. Basically a $2,300 loss, but better than keeping it. Use that money to take an actual vacation. Somewhere tropical. Spent a week reading books on a beach and not thinking about any of this. Came back refreshed. Started therapy. My therapist said I showed signs of betrayal trauma, which makes sense. Also said my revenge, while dramatic, wasn't technically unhealthy given the circumstances. Just needed to make sure I processed the actual hurt, not just the anger. Working on that. My ex, according to mutual friends, the few that still exist, moved in with her ex-boyfriend, the one she'd been planning to leave me for. They're apparently madly in love now. Her student loans are still unpaid. Her father didn't pay them off. She's been complaining about the payments on social media. Some of her friends dropped her after everything came out. Others stuck by her, but even they admit it was messed up what she did. Even if they think my response was extreme, my family's been great. Mom checks in weekly. Brother took me out for beers and told me he was proud of how I handled it. Dad just nodded and said, "You did what you had to do." Work's been good. Business picked up actually. Turns out having a reputation for not tolerating nonsense is attractive to certain clients. I'm not dating. Not ready. Probably won't be for a while. Trust issues are real. The idea of letting someone that close again, giving them that much power to hurt me. Not there yet. But I'm okay. Really. Genuinely okay. Someone asked me in a DM if I regret the altar thing. If I think it was too far? Honest answer? No. Could I have handled it differently? Sure. Could have just canceled the wedding privately, told people we broke up, let her save face, but she would have lied, told everyone I was the problem, spun some story about me being controlling or abusive or whatever, made herself the victim. By showing everyone the truth up front, by putting her own words in her own handwriting out there, I made sure the truth was undeniable. No he said, she said. Just facts. Was it dramatic? Absolutely. Was it petty? Maybe. Was it satisfying? In the moment? Yes. But more importantly, it was honest. And after months of her dishonesty, of her manipulation, of her planning to use me, honesty felt necessary. The people who needed to know the truth knew it. The people who wanted to believe her version would have believed it anyway, regardless of when or how I exposed her. I chose to expose her in a way that was dramatic and undeniable. That's on me. I own it. But I don't regret it. She made her choices. I made mine. She has to live with hers now, just like I have to live with mine, and I'm living fine. Thanks for following this mess. Time to close this chapter and move forward.